Welcome to Natives Histories here at AD Sound Lab. My name is Tony Wachiku, and for the next 35 minutes or so, we are with two wonderful DJ producers, Paula Temple, Rebekah. Give it up. Now, although I'm talking to them, it's also an opportunity for you to ask them some questions. So if you've got a question that you'd like to ask, have a think about that. And in about 15 minutes, I'll give you the opportunity to ask a question as well. Is that all right? We'll get there. We'll get there. So, yes, great to see you again. Great to meet you. The last time we were together, you were showing us crazy reactor patches in London, which was really inspiring. But since then, apart from obviously releasing records and DJing extensively, you've hooked up with a good friend, Rebekah, and we've kind of got Exit Festival to thank for your kind of collaboration. So do you want to talk us through that, maybe?
Yeah, we just got the request for Exit to play, but they wanted us to do a back-to-back the first night. They always have back-to-back sessions. So Paula and I were talking about possibly doing it about a year before, I think, or maybe, 8 months or something, at CrossFit.
So we go to CrossFit a lot,
okay.
yeah.
Okay, so...
would you consider back-to-back? And I'm really like...
So was this kind of like...
Yeah.
rope pulling?
Then she got me at a weak moment.
Okay.
I was really... She gave me a double session. I was beaten. And I would agree to anything.
Okay.
Yeah, so... Yeah.
So we've got CrossFit to thank as well. Great. So I guess you've got mutual respect for. But did you know each other before CrossFit?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think we got to know each other well when I moved to Berlin, and actually Rebekah was one of my first friends in Berlin, and really helping me out. Things like not having a studio space, and Rebekah would go, "Look, I'm out of town. Do you want to borrow my studio?" Which was super generous. Yeah, and we developed our friendship from there. And then she realised I was really unfit and told me to come to CrossFit.
That's not true.
So obviously the question is, are you fit now?
No.
Yeah, you gave up after about 3 months.
I stuck with it for 3 months. Then I started getting the muscles. And then I think there was a bit of a busy touring time. So I think I had a month off. And it's really hard to get back into something that's hard in the first place, but back into it. And I'm like, nah, I'm too old.
I think you just got a girlfriend and consequently married her. That's what took you.
Oh, yeah, there was that too. Yeah.
Well, we've all got huge commitments, and obviously playing together and DJing together and working together is obviously part of it. So for Exit Festival, did you have to prepare beforehand, or was it just a case of a standard back-to-back, which is basically, okay, what are you going to play, when you play? Obviously there's some prep involved, perhaps.
Yeah, we had the first session mixing at the studio, and just to work it out what we was going to do and how it was going to work. We do have slightly different sounds when it comes to the techno that we like individually, so it was how that would work. And obviously we're both layering a lot of sounds and loops and tracks together, so playing just one track each doesn't really make much sense. So we allocated like a certain amount of time or a certain amount of tracks to play, and then we swap over. But we did about 3 or 4 sessions, or was it more like 6? I can't remember. You like a good practice session.
Yeah, we just enjoyed actually getting to know each other's way of doing things. And our choice of technology, is because we like to keep it very, very busy and layered. So a lot of stuff going on. But also we like to create our own moments. So we then learned, what it would mean as a back-to-back, how much time we want to give each other so we can create those moments. And testing, different ways to do it. And then was like, no, this will be the right way. It
all sounds really civil. I like it. It all sounds very civil and well thought out. We're going to unpick that in a second. So obviously the idea of back-to-back is one thing, because you're both using different technologies and have different aesthetics around techno. So there's lots of kind of learning each other's is involved. So in terms of the setup, how did that work? Bring it together, because you're a tractor background, right? So yeah. So then, and what's your setup?
My setup's with Ableton Live, with controllers.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So 2 computers, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And how do you link them? With Link?
With Link.
Okay.
Yeah,
Link
really,
is your friend.
really easy.
Yeah, Ethernet, not Wi-Fi.
Ethernet.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool. So yours is tractor. What else have you got?
I have 2 X1s, 1 F1 with effects, and a TR8, Roland TR8.
And yours Ableton, which can push to?
Yeah, push 2 and Allen and Heath K2.
Yeah, cool. Okay, nice one. So I guess it was a case of, so it was your studio, right? You've rucksack, plonk, need a bigger table. Yeah?
Long table.
Okay. So did it, in terms of, so talk us through what that was like setting up. Did you take the left-hand side or the right-hand side, or, how did it work out?
Yeah, we figured out our favourite side, first of all.
It's very important, because it's in the rider, obviously, so...
Yeah, obviously I'm the more flexible one. So Rebecca's like, I have to do the right side.
It doesn't
Okay, it's yours.
Yeah, my right is the trigger fingers.
So there's a technical reason why you're on the right side.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. Okay.
Muscle memory,
Yeah,
yeah.
of course.
No muscle memory because I'm useless.
No, not at all. You're useless in other things, perhaps CrossFit, but maybe not. Yeah. So we've got the left and right thing sorted out. We've got the technology sorted out. We've got the syncing sorted out. I want to kind of unpick the back-to-back nature of your playing. You've obviously got different styles. You really clock that. So I guess you're the more kind of in-your-face techno, no holes bound. Rebecca's not messing around techno.
I think the way that I mix is probably more like traditionally as a DJ. That's how I use Tractor. Paula is very much on the planning side, so she has a lot of things prepared and planned, and you do a lot of cutting, not cutting with the bass out, but you just swap tracks in and out, which is really kind of like Dave's style, really. So I had to kind of adapt to that, and Paula has a specific sound of kicks that she likes. She has there's like the low kick, and then there's like a mid kick. So I had to like work around her kicks as well.
Tell us about your kicks.
I think it's become quite clear I like a good kick. Yeah, so sometimes Rebecca looks at me and goes, how can I mix into that? That kick is going to kill me. So I don't really think about it because I'm obsessed. I was talking about it before, but 90% of my production time is working on kicks, which is a bit ridiculous. Quite an obsession.
But you have got the best kicks, though, so...
Yeah. Actually, I got out-kicked. I was in Tresor a couple of weeks ago, and I was playing with Ansem. So Ansem, he did a live set. Oh, my God, I had the best kick of my life. So we're going to do a kick swap. I think I'm going to get off better, actually.
He'll have to record his it's all modular setup, isn't it?
He says he's put it in a sampler.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay. So I guess what's really good about this is that you've really identified your niches, I guess, or your sound when it comes to DJing, and you give each other space, 2 or 3 tracks to kind of tell a story, and then it's over. So then how do you work out the transitions? How does that work out?
Paula's more kinder with that. She'll leave me on a track, and then she'll tell me that it's just going to flow into beats, where I'm a little bit meaner. I think I put the craziest record on, and then I'm like, go on, your turn. And you're like, no. And then I have to like put another one on. So
sometimes I go, no chance. She's like, right. And also as well, because my eyesight is not so great, so sometimes I have to look over when it's handover time, like, oh, right, where's that breakdown coming? So luckily there is a visual display. I'm like, okay, I'll wait for that breakdown. Or I'll do a really fast transition. Fuck that breakdown.
Do you sound effects as well as part of your kind of collage of sounds that you play?
Yeah, a little bit, but not too much. Because I think in my early days, I went a bit crazy. clear the dance floor. So I learned to do things in moderation at the right moment, and sometimes go crazy, but in the right moment, sparsely. Yeah.
So would you say when you play back to back, is there an expectation? And what I mean by that is it just you know what you're going to play, you've kind of got an idea what you're going to play and see and then give the crowd this experience, or is it something a bit more experimental, or is it just kind of you don't know what you're going to do? What kind of vibe is it when you're DJing together?
It's pretty much prepared. We have the sections prepared, and then we also have some like a little backup folder of like stuff that we'd like to play and maybe it would work. And then we generally see how each gig is kind of individual as well, but we do roughly have an idea. Like Rotterdam Rave, we want it to go harder. Door was just next level insane, and
Neopop was more deeper, especially the first half. So explored more of the classic techno and melodic stuff. And then we built it up to the craziness.
But you ever tempted to just go, I'm just going to put this cheeky one in here, just throw it off?
Yes.
You think I'm going to play a track, but actually, no.
Yeah. So I think when I've kind of conditioned Rebekah into believing I'm going to be nice, and then sometimes, just once, in the set somewhere, I'm like, bam, here you go, and she's like, what? I remember, because the first one this year was the Awakenings Festival, and then I did this, this hardcore chop up, and then handed it over to you, and the crowd reaction was like, "Whoa!" Rebekah's reaction was, "Whoa!" And even
for different reasons, right?
And even I didn't expect it to be that big of a sound. I was like, "Over to you."
And I guess, how do you take these curveballs? Do you take them with open arms, or are you kind of like, okay, I'm going to get my own back?
Yeah, I think. Yeah, I think that's the part that I really enjoy the most, like preparing and going through the motions of playing the same mixes. It's good, it's solid, it works. But for me as a performer, and I want to be entertained as well. So I really enjoy those moments. They're the highlights for us, I think.
And do you, I'll ask both of you, do you think, when you play, when it's your own DJ set, is there a personality that comes through when you play yourself as opposed to playing back-to-back? So,
Yeah, I think by myself, I'm pretty serious. We decided, actually, we were just going to have fun. That was the most important part of this, is fun to the max. And it really reflects in the style that we do. So we do pick some of the craziest, hardest rave tracks that even I wouldn't feel comfortable playing by myself. But I go, this is stupid, crazy vocal line and this hardcore beat. I love it. This is a great moment to play it. So it is much more fun. We decided that's how it's going to be.
And I think that's what makes it special, the dancing and being with the crowd as well. And I think they enjoy seeing us having fun, because a lot of the time we've got our heads in our laptops. So we wanted to get that across. We're not always so serious and geeky.
There's lots of time for that too as well. Cool. Over to you guys. What are you guys thinking? You'd like to ask? Question in the front here.
Questions around the production side of things. Have you ever spoken about or planned on collaborating in some productions, as in together?
We've talked about it, but it's just never the right time. I was working on my album. Paula's been working on her album, and it'd be something maybe in a few years' time. But right now, we've got our own personal projects solo.
Nice one. Anyone else? Okay, mesmerised, that's fine. That's okay, you can be mesmerised. But part of the question. So, has it ever gone wrong? like technically?
Yes. Yeah. I mean, the first back-to-back we did was Exit. Totally fine. And that was a year ago. And then this year, the first one was Awakenings. First time ever, my laptop decided it just crashed, just as we were about to start. Yeah, and my project file completely corrupted.
One of those ones.
Yeah. So then nobody knew. Rebekah starts doing the first 10 minutes, and I'm just like dancing whilst, holy shit, get this to work. And the thing's spinning, I'm like, oh my God, really? Forever? Let's just pretend everything's fine. And then, it comes up. Thanks to Link, I'm in. And then I'm ready to take over. Yeah. So that was our first this year.
One of the advantages of playing back-to-back, of course.
Yeah.
So did you use it as an opportunity to really get your time in?
Yeah, I think I wasn't meant to start that on that set. That was you were doing the open on that one. So so I had to just figure out what to play straight away and just run with it. The next time that it was like a user error that we had as well. I just forgot the cable. And I've done that twice now. And the first time was at Neopop, but we were really lucky because we managed to get... And it's not the cable, the Ethernet cable, like everyone's got an Ethernet cable. It's the adapters to Ethernet to Thunderbolt. That's really tricky, and they're expensive.
Super expensive, yeah.
But Gustavo sorted us out, promoter.
Yeah.
Then in Dublin...
Yeah, forgot again. But actually, we had the backup from Neopop, and I was meant to take that, so we both forgot a cable. So it's like, oh my God, it's so stupid. Yeah.
That's great. It's actually, considering how, DJing, performing, yes, it is about celebration, but there's a lot of seriousness to it, right? Particularly if you've prepared a lot and, you've got you're very dedicated. But it's really great to hear that you're having fun with this collaboration, is there any kind of, what's next in terms of how you're working together? You're going to take it a stage further. I mean, we asked about productions, but in terms of your DJing, is there something else you want to explore in terms of how you work together, how you interact? Perhaps using more equipment, or perhaps using your voice on stage or something?
Yeah, I mean, we haven't really reflected yet, because we just did our last back-to-back last night, but we wanted to reflect on what we've done so far. And there are things like expanding. Rebekah was thinking about expanding with a modular setup, and I'm exploring a new drum machine that I really like, that I want to start bringing in more and more. So there's definitely chance to expand. So it's just, again, it's going from season to season, figuring out what other stuff that's going on too. But definitely want to be doing more stuff in the future.
And the direction you're going in terms of the contrasting styles, is that something you're going to keep going? Or because it feels to me that that's a thing. That's a Rebekah and Paula thing.
Yeah, I think that's what people really enjoy about it. I think that having the different styles within one set, I think we've done something special, something good there, because that's the feedback we get. They're like, oh, we really like both of your styles when it comes together. So I think we do have to keep working on it, and then maybe for the future, full live. I always say that you can do a live set, but if there's two of you doing a live set, you're going to get so much more. 4 hands are better than 2. So, to see.
Yeah.
I want to unpick your tractor setup a little bit more. Are you into the whole 4-deck thing? Do you play tracks? And how do you curate your tractor set?
I just have loads of cue points, and I just move around the cue points. I was playing a lot of 4 tracks, but I've kind of stepped back from that a little bit. So it's normally 2, 3, and I'm just trying to select tracks that are actually really, really strong. And I think that's what I got from our back-to-back. Paula's really good at picking really good records that are great on their own, and then that made me step my game up a little bit more, to see what I was looking for in a record. So I've been not layering as many, just letting things breathe a little bit. And I don't really loop things too much. I like the movement. If the record's good, it has movement, then you need that on the dance floor. So.
And as for what's your curation style in terms of tracks and audio and not so many effects nowadays?
I don't know. I mean, it's the same thing that there has to be a flow. But I do think of a set as a journey. It's not to be the same constant energy. And there has to be contrast. I am a bit overkill on the breakdowns, I think. Like, this breakdown's going on forever. And I can see Rebekah behind me getting impatient. Like, when's it going to drop? When's it going to drop? I just wait. So sometimes I cut the breakdowns down a bit for you. No, but it makes sense, picking up the energy. Yeah. So, yeah, I'm very conscious about contrast. So I want sometimes to take the mood somewhere completely different and then swing it back into something surprisingly, the power needs to surprise sometimes, to catch people, off guard, that it hasn't come in at the moment they expected. And I think those are the magic moments that really wake people up and feel alive.
So apart from those moments and obviously what you learn from each other and obviously DJing, what are the highlights of the collaboration that you've created?
I just had so much fun. It's just been great and relaxing and fun. That's for me.
I've really enjoyed the practice sessions. Like when I was younger, we'd always have friends around and we'd be mixing, and it's at home. And the older you get and the more professional you get, the more solo and that those experiences are. So when Paula, I remember the first day she came over and got us stuff set up, and we were just like rocking out in the studio, and I was like, oh my gosh, we need to do an all-nighter of this. Like that's totally my addict side. Like, we need to do this all the time, more. But I really enjoyed that. It was like, sharing music once again, and just enjoying it, enjoying dancing, listening to another DJ and an artist, and that for me was like, the shows are great, but that little connection that we have is really, really lovely.
All right. What are you saying, people? Question? Thoughts? There you go. There's a question in the back there. It's a very important question. Apart from the long track standard one.
We just have a bucket on stage. No, we do our best to offload before, and if we haven't, we just have to hold it in.
But you could obviously just give more time, right? I mean, this is a very important
but
question.
we've not had that situation really. No.
I mean, like when you do an all night long session, and Dave will agree here. For some reason, you can do 6 hours and you just don't go to the toilet. It's like all your concentration is like holding everything in, or you just sweat it out. I don't know.
Thank you for that question. Go for it. No, thank you. It's important.
I would love to know, what's your favorite artist, non-electronic artist?
Who's your favourite non-electronic artist?
I don't know. I'm a huge fan of my friend's band called Esben and the Witch. So it's a bit like a gothy rock band. So, but I mean, there's a lot of artists, but at the moment, I'm listening to a lot of Esben and the Witch.
Rebekah?
I'm still listening to all my teenage stuff like Nirvana and recently Lana Del Rey. I love her, and Ben Howard. I think just lots of music with vocals. Funnily enough, so yeah, I'm really into that stuff. Yeah.
On a related subject, given that you have this opportunity to have fun and, you know, collaborate on stage, have you thought of including other music forms or textures into your set?
I do my solo stuff, and when I do like a full live set, it tends to be not really dance floor orientated at all. It's more like a cinematic, apocalyptic experience. So yeah, there's tons of soundscape, noise, and plenty of invitation to make you all deaf. We'll just give you the deep rumbles. So I love to make. I think I'm a sound designer really first, above everything else. So it is nice to do like a full live set sometimes and bring all my sound design together. So in some sets, in my solo sets, like there's an event I do once a year called Catharsis, and that I bring a lot of sound design into that. But really, the club sets and festival sets is not really for that.
There's no space for that.
Yeah.
It's about form and function.
Yeah.
Would you agree?
Yeah,
Strictly about the loud kicks and noise.
but it's kind of seasonal, like coming out of the festival season now and then taking it back into the clubs. It's really strange. It's like it's almost like I don't want to do all the really hard stuff and thinking about, you know, what's going to work again in a dark club, and you kind of have to do a bit of a shake-up of your record collection.
Is it really that night and day in terms of, I mean, you both talked about that the festival season and the club season. What is it, for those that don't know what that means, what does that mean aesthetically in terms of music and energy?
I think more like textures and grooves rather than, you know, breakdowns and just big moments. I think you still need them in a club set, of course, but it's like maybe, for me, it's stripping those away and then I don't know, like, and then mixing slightly different as well.
So is it much more of one kind of energy and one kind of experience, Jeremy, rather than it being peaks and troughs? I'm trying to, for festivals.
Yeah, I think so. You still go up and down, but it's just, everything is just bigger. Okay. It seems like that's what I really learnt from working with Paula, is like what really works on a big stage. We played with another DJ recently, and there was no breakdowns, and I could just coming into the room, the stage, realizing that actually they need a breakdown, and the demographic is different as well. So festivals does attract a lot of younger people, and they kind of need the energy and the breakdowns, and whereas I think in the clubs people want to get lost a little bit more.
Interesting. No, I'm just mulling on that. So you obviously bring this thinking to your sets, I guess. You know, so part of your pre-production is thinking about, okay, it's festival season, it has to have this kind of energy, this kind of tempo. Less breakdowns, please, madam, and then that kind of thing, right? So you have to be that strategic when it comes to preparing your sets.
I mean, you don't have to. I mean, as long as it's true to yourself, you know. Like, I think that I have a wide range. Paula has a wide range of music that she really likes too. You know, we've been around since the 90s, so we've gone through lots of different like subgenres, and it would, I don't know, it's like trying to fit everything in, and I think that for me is always exciting. It's like, how can you fit everything into one set and make it work, rather than I'm going to just play the same record over and over. But I think it's like a learning curve when you get to the bigger stages to see what works and what doesn't, and you have got to think about the people's experience too on the dance floor.
But then how much of it is art, as in you're presenting this collaboration and this kind of philosophy on stage, and how much of it is, you know, not pleasing the crowd, but you get my point, how much has to respond to the space that you're in, whether it's a dance floor, whether it's a club night or a festival?
I think with the back-to-backs and with them being festival bookings, it feels like a celebration together, that we are really close together and celebrating together. And I think for some club experiences, it's to give a version of yourself. And yeah, I'm aiming for something unique that they won't have experienced from another DJ. That this is my interpretation of techno, and some people will be into that, and some people won't. I think there's a difference. So the clubs for me is a bit more, I don't know, of an not education experience, but to give something pretty unique. Yeah.
All right. Go for it, mate.
My question is pretty simple. It's like, which DJs and production females that's upcoming right now that you can relate to, and what's your thoughts about it? Because females are doing good for techno this moment.
Yeah, I think now is a really good time for female artists to come through. There's a lot of emphasis on females in the industry. And I think it ranges from the top tier right down. I mean, I'm really interested in some of the girls that are fully modular right now. So there's a girl in Berlin called Wallace. There's the Lady Modular. And they're really exciting because they're really, getting into production. And, I mean, you've got a whole list of... It's like, how long have you got?
There's just many that are blowing my mind. I'm really impressed with Dr. Rubenstein. She actually got me interested in acid. I never liked acid before, and this year I'm like, I like acid. There's Renata from Beirut, amazing industrial techno. I mean, I don't know how she's finding this amazing industrial music that I've never heard of before, but she's finding it, and the way she delivers an industrial set was the best I ever heard. I was telling everyone, I know you got to book this person. There's many, but there's two examples, for example.
Thank you. Anyone else? Cool. Question here. So in terms of other elements, so lighting, pyrotechnics, is that also a collaboration, but not so public?
It was really hot last night. Oh my God. We 1 minute into a set and all the pyrotechnics were going off. We didn't expect it, and so that, wow, it's hot in here. I'm going bright red, and we're being filmed. This is not cool. I'm sweating. And I touched your back, and you was pouring with sweat.
No toilet, remember?
So we have no control, actually. And we didn't actually think to make suggestions or go, you can't do this, or we need this. It probably would have been wise to have that conversation. But I think things worked out pretty well.
I think on the big stages, the lighting guys and girls they're just responding to the music. So, they're professional, they're doing a big stage, so they're obviously professionals in the game.
Yeah, and what's been nice, actually, I think nearly every time the lighting guy or girl comes up to us afterwards and goes, I really enjoyed doing the lights for you. That was really good fun. Yeah.
Anyone else? Okay. So what's next for you two, collaboration-wise and perhaps individually?
Collaboration, that's it for now, unfortunately.
Why?
So we've got our own stuff going on at the moment. I mean, I've just finished an album, So I've just got to think.
Hooray!
Yeah, I know. It took long enough, but now I hate it.
Of course. It's like
I'm going to bin it. Start again. No, so now I need to think, well, what the hell am I going to do with it? I'll not bin it. No.
we won't allow you.
I'll make you all suffer. Yeah, so I think I need to give that the time it needs. Yeah. And
Rebekah?
I've got absolutely no music coming out after November, so I'm a little bit worried. But I've just spent a lot more time doing a live set, so I have my first live set tonight. There's going to be lots of mistakes, but I have my open and close, so that bit's sorted. And yeah, I think I want to start working on another album, but yeah, just see. I'm just going to see after tonight what I want to do. Maybe roll out the live set for next year, or not.
Well, Paula, Rebekah, thank you so much. It's been great.